We live in the era of the endless performance. Think about it. Every workout, every late night at the desk, every new habit, it is all immediately packaged, filtered, and traded for digital applause. Look around. We have become a society of actors, playing to an invisible theater, completely terrified that if no one is watching us, we don't actually exist. The truth is, we are building our goals out of glass. We put them on display just so the world can tap on the glass, leave a quick comment, and tell us that we matter. But that creates a dangerous psychological fragility. Think about how risky that is. When your fuel is external validation, your motivation is entirely controlled by the fluctuating moods of total strangers. So what happens when you finally turn off the lights? What happens to your mindset when you actively refuse to speak about your ambitions for 365 days? It is called the validation fast. And make no mistake, this isn't a casual challenge. It is a psychological crucible. It will break your old identity entirely before it rebuilds you into someone unrecognizable.
Now, before we trace this descent into the shadows, let's be completely clear about the parameters. This isn't your standard run-of-the-mill social media detox. This is a strict, unbreakable vow of absolute silence regarding your personal growth. And the rules, they are completely non-negotiable. Rule number 1, zero posting of your progress, your struggles, or your victories on any platform, anywhere. Rule number 2, no dropping casual hints or slick humble brags in conversations with friends or family. And rule number 3, you must accept being entirely misunderstood by the people closest to you. For 1 full year, you are going to become a ghost in your own life. That brings us to level 1, the phantom itch. This hits the exact moment you complete your first difficult task in the shadows. Maybe you wake up at 4 a.m., crush a brutal physical training session, or finally close a high-stakes deal. Instinctively, the muscle memory takes over. Your hand reaches for your phone. You're already framing the caption in your mind, anticipating the likes, the texts, and that quick hit of cheap validation. But then, you stop. You put the phone back down. And the silence that follows, it is absolutely deafening. See, without the applause, the achievement suddenly feels completely hollow, almost like it didn't even happen. In that agonizing first week, you are hit with a brutal reality check. For the last 5 years, you haven't actually been working to build a life. You've been working to maintain a show.
By week 3, something fascinating happens. Your ego completely begins to starve. Your brain is officially deprived of its usual hit of digital dopamine. So what does it do? It starts looking for loopholes. Welcome to level 2, the justification trap. Suddenly, you find yourself in casual conversations, subtly trying to steer the topic toward your hidden goals. You tell yourself, hey, I'm not posting it online, I'm just bringing it up to a friend. That doesn't count as bragging, right? Let's be completely honest here. That is the literal physiological withdrawal of external validation speaking. Your identity feels incredibly fragile. You are absolutely terrified that if the people around you don't know what you're building, they're going to assume you're falling behind. You finally realize how desperately you rely on the opinions of others just to feel secure in your own skin. Then you hit month 2. Welcome to the void. This right here is the absolute graveyard of ambition, and it is exactly where 90% of people break the fast. Think about it. The initial excitement, completely dead. The motivation, long gone. And because absolutely nobody is cheering for you, the actual day-to-day work becomes unbelievably heavy. Every single morning feels like dragging a massive boulder up a mountain, completely in the dark. You stare at your desk, your monitor, or the gym floor, and this dark, intrusive thought creeps in. Why am I even doing this? What is the actual point if no one ever sees it? But pay close attention. This is the ultimate test. This is the exact moment you have to stop burning cheap fuel, the temporary applause of the crowd, and start burning the heavy, slow-burning fuel of pure, unfiltered discipline. You are learning to execute, not for the reward, but for the requirement.
As you push into month 4, a completely new kind of friction emerges. Welcome to level 4, the misunderstanding. See, because you have gone completely radio silent about your ambitions, society automatically begins to project its own fears onto you. Old friends ask what you've been up to lately, and you give them a simple 2-word reply. Just working. And right then, you watch the look of pity crawl into their eyes. They assume you've stagnated. They genuinely think you've lost your drive or given up on your potential. Now, the internal urge to violently correct them is absolutely suffocating. Every cell in your body wants to slam your fist on the table and scream, "I am building an empire in the dark. I am outworking every single one of you." But you hold your tongue. You swallow your pride and you let them think whatever they want. Right here, you are building a thick, unshakable callus over your own ego. Then, you cross into month 6, the exact halfway mark. This is level 5, the ego death. One morning, you wake up, go to the bathroom, and look in the mirror. But something inside your mind has permanently snapped. The agonizing, desperate need to be recognized, it has completely evaporated. You look at your own reflection and you finally realize something profound. The opinions of your peers hold absolutely zero currency in your reality. Zero. You are no longer performing for a stage. You are actively executing a plan. The silence around you isn't a punishment to endure anymore. It has officially become your fortress. You have completely uncoupled your self-worth from the random perceptions of the crowd. Look out, because you are dangerous now. By months 7 and 8, you enter level 6, the secret reservoir. This is where the true, undeniable power of the fast finally reveals itself. Think about how most people operate. The second they get a win, they immediately leak that energy out into the world through a social media post or a boastful conversation. But you do the exact opposite. Every single time you achieve a massive victory, you trap that energy inside yourself. Over months of continuous execution, this creates a dense, heavy psychological mass. You literally develop your own gravity. You can walk into a room, pull up a chair, and speak completely normally, but the people around you can instinctively feel the sheer weight of your presence. They don't know a single thing about what you've done, but their subconscious tells them one clear reality. You are not someone to be trifled with. Then month 10 arrives. This is level 7, the smile, and it is the ultimate test of your emotional regulation. Picture this. You're sitting at a crowded dinner party, surrounded by noise. Someone across the table, someone who has accomplished a literal fraction of what you have, decides to offer you completely unsolicited advice. They condescend to you, totally unaware that you have already completely mastered the exact thing they are lecturing you about. A year ago, this would have absolutely destroyed you. You would have cut them off just to defend your honor. But today, you just look them in the eye and you smile. You nod, you thank them for the insight, and you let them keep their temporary illusion of superiority. Why? Because you finally realize that the desperate, frantic need to prove you are better than someone else is the ultimate sign of weakness. By month 11, you hit level 8, the Ghost Protocol. At this stage, you are moving through the world entirely unseen, operating on a frequency that nobody else can even hear. You look around and you observe the anxious, frantic scrambling of society. You see people trading their time, their peace, and their literal dignity for a handful of digital likes. You can clearly see the invisible strings attached to their limbs, pulled entirely by the fear of judgment. But you have cut your strings. You are entirely, completely sovereign. And then, day 365 arrives. Welcome to level 9, the realization. The fast is officially over. The strict, self-imposed ban is lifted. The massive goal you set 12 months ago, the business, the execution, the internal peace, has been fully achieved. You hold the victory right in your hands. You finally have permission again. You are allowed to pull out your phone, post the picture, claim your applause, and collect all the validation you starved yourself of for an entire year. That brings us to the final stage, level 10, the sovereign. You pull your phone out of your pocket. You open up the app. You stare at the photo of your absolute triumph. And then, you lock the screen. You slide the phone right back into your pocket, and you don't say a single word to anyone. Look at what just happened. You realize that sharing the victory with the crowd now would actually cheapen it. The true reward was never the temporary applause. The reward wasn't even the massive goal itself. The real reward was the absolute machine you had to become in the dark just to pull it off. And that belongs entirely to you.